Hello. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Where is stream element spot? Why does the bot never show up? I've been meaning to switch off of stream element spot, but I haven't. I only just yesterday got new BGM. You really expect me to set everything up again so quickly? I'll try and figure stuff out sometime over my break. I've still got 2 weeks off of work. Anyway, hello. It is my my 2-year anniversary as a VTuber. Hello, Sausage. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. For anyone who didn't see, I did release a cover song this morning on my YouTube channel. It's not that good, don't worry about it if you didn't see it. I need to practice more. Also, yeah, I have new BGM now. The links to it are in my About section, cards, question mark. I don't know what it's called on Twitch. My old opening stream BGM was getting claimed for copyright, even though it was working fine when I first started using it, but then recently it started getting claimed on YouTube, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's finally time to change. And then I changed the chatting BGM as well, just to make it fit better with the stream opening BGM. Hopefully the audio levels are fine. I've adjusted them to where they seem about right, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see, I guess. Yeah, 2 years. It feels like... I mean, my words are failing me. I have suddenly lost the ability to speak. 2 years feels like a long-ass time, but in terms of what I've actually been doing, it doesn't really feel like it's been that long. Like, I've just been playing video games, but like, it has been 2 years, hasn't it? Because I admittedly, I had no idea what I was going to do today for today's stream, because like last year, I was planning like, oh, I'm gonna do a cover for my 1 year anniversary, and then like my laptop broke, and so I'm like, okay, I can't do a cover. I can still stream though. What if I did a karaoke stream? And then I got sick, so I couldn't do that either. But this year I could actually do a cover, and now I'm like, well, what do I do for the actual stream? But I think I figured something out. But before that, I'd just like to say, like, some of you may have seen over on Twitter, because I refuse to call it X, back when at the end of last year, when all the Twitch recaps were coming out, going like, oh, this is how much my channel grew this year, and I ended up feeling kind of inadequate. Because it kind of felt like everyone was just doing way better than me, and I was just sort of tagging along because I was friends with some of these people. Admittedly, it doesn't really feel like I've gotten that far as a VTuber, but what I can say is that I've made a lot of friends along the way, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Because, like, I don't know how obvious it is, I am incredibly socially anxious, even around friends. Like, I have to convince myself, like, hey, you can do it, it's just a heckin' Discord call, just jump in and say hi. So I'm very grateful for the people that I've met through being a VTuber, the friends I've made. I'm not gonna name all of them, they know who they are. They might not be here because time zones and shit, and the fact that in most time zones it is currently New Year's Day, so people are probably very busy right now. But yeah, I'm very grateful for them. But to address why the stream is called what it is, and why I posted that dramatic ass thumbnail on Twitter. while I feel I haven't really, gotten particularly far with being a VTuber, accruing an audience or anything like that, I have still been making progress, I've been, like, I've been streaming games, I've released a few covers, I've done karaoke streams, I've done a whole bunch of stuff. But at the same time, it kind of felt like another one of my hobbies has been suffering because I pushed it off to the side in order to make time for being a VTuber. And that's my writing as an author. Because like when I had something that was urgently due for like my VTuber stuff, like maybe I needed to quickly like finish off the music video for a cover, or maybe I had to like quickly clip out some, what's it called, stream highlights back before I started doing YouTube Shorts. I'd always end up prioritizing that over my writing, because I'm like, like my writing's gonna be, it's gonna come out eventually, doesn't matter. But now I've gone from like releasing one chapter of my novel, well, chapter quote unquote, it's basically long enough that each chapter is a book by itself. I went from releasing one chapter a year to it now being 2 years since the last chapter released, and I still haven't finished the one I'm working on. And I don't really like that. I don't like that my hobbies have sort of been competing with each other. And then on top of that, I kind of feel like I don't really know what my identity as a VTuber is. Like, I always sort of like to joke about like, oh yeah, I play popular Nintendo games, and I play obscure shit that no one's ever heard of. That's not even true anymore. I played Ace Attorney. I just do random shit. Like, huh? Like, looking at my design, you'd think I'm some sort of, like, space-related thing. And I guess I sort of am. My lore, like, before I eventually get around to rewriting it whenever I make a 2.0 model. That'll happen eventually, question mark. Like, my original lore was that my original body died at some point where in the void between worlds, and now my current body is made of stardust, which is why it looks all spacey and stuff. But like, how many people even know that? How many people remember that? No one. And my heckin' name, Melody C. Turtle, people just assume I'm a turtle. I'm not. I have a turtle badge. I'm not actually a turtle, but people see my name and assume that. I don't really have an identity as a VTuber. So, moving forward, there's kind of something I would like to try. We're removing that slash. This is probably going to sound odd, but I'd like to stop being an author slash VTuber and start being an author VTuber. I don't want my hobbies to be competing with each other anymore. So I think the best way to do that would be to make my work as an author be part of my identity as a VTuber. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to be like rebranding or anything. I'm not going to completely redesign myself or change my name or anything. There just might be a slight change in content here or there. I'll still be playing video games and doing random shit like I do, but I'd like to incorporate more of my writing into it here and there. So like, maybe every now and then you'll see me pop on just to do a bit of work of like writing or proofreading, just to free myself from distractions and be like, well, if I'm streaming it, I can't have YouTube in the background. You might see streams here and there of me drawing my characters or trying to workshop how things will work. But not necessarily just my writing, but also my multiverse in general. So like, in the past I've done, I think like 2 streams of me working on a game in SRPG Studio. I'd like to pick that up eventually. That was fun, I'd like to bring that back. And you also might just see me like workshopping ideas for, like, a lot of my stories originally started as ideas for video games back when I wanted to be a game developer instead of an author. And while I have sort of tried to convert them into stories, some ideas just work better as a video game. So you might see me pop on trying to workshop that sort of thing. I thought that you start killing people for fun. Kenna, what the fuck? Kenna. No. Stop that. Don't agree with her, sausage. But yes. So the idea for today's stream that I'm honestly not sure if it's going to work or not. I may ditch it halfway through and we'll do something else. But so I tweeted sometime over Christmas that, like, oh yeah, the death of gacha would ultimately be a good thing for gaming, but it would be a massive blow to the games where you collect a shitload of dudes genre. And I have an idea for a game that was originally like, oh yeah, this is a gacha game featuring my characters, but like, I'd rather it not be gacha. And I kind of wanted to workshop how that game would work, because I've been looking into things. Gacha's kind of being restricted in China, yeah. That's what got me thinking about it, honestly. I was like, damn, China's killing off loot boxes? Hell yeah. Wait, that means my gacha games will die. Oh no. Restricting daily login rewards, yeah. Like, I don't want the games where you collect a shitload of dudes genre to die. Unfortunately. But like, that genre is kind of dominated by gacha, because that's just the model that works for it. But yes, let me... Oh wait, I don't have BGM on... Oh wait, no, I do have BGM on this one. Cool. I'll just leave the BGM going for now then. With my gambling addiction, oh no. I reaffirmed last night that gacha is pain. I was trying to pull for characters on the New Year's banner in Fire Emblem Heroes, and no. I did get 2 out of the 3 characters I wanted. Maybe I'm just being greedy.
Hello, Mario.
Thank you, Kenna. Oh, speaking of Mario, my cover this morning was of a heckin' the song from Super Mario Odyssey. I had other ideas, but I just wasn't confident enough in singing any of them, so I was just like, fuck it, let's do this one. And then it didn't turn out that good anyway, but oh well, at least I got through it. I need to practice more. But like, singing practice is awkward, because it's like one of the few activities that I need to do for my hobbies that I can't multitask. Have it up right now? Oh no. Oh no. Anyway, this is our canvas today for workshopping. You can see the title here, Book of Nexus. That's the see, here's the problem with this sort of stream. I actually have to explain myself with words and not just spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are nice. let me move my my headphones off for a sec so I can think a little clearly without music going in my ears. So, Book of Nexus is the name for my hypothetical not gacha game. Was originally a gacha game, trying to convert it into not one. So the name, it takes place within one of my fictional worlds, the Realm of Nexus, which, as I mentioned on Twitter with one of my my World C character of the day posts, the Realm of Nexus is an endless sea dotted by countless islands, and populated by essentially copies of characters from my other worlds, which is how we're justifying the gacha-ness of it. You can recruit these copies of other characters and then voila. That's how you do it. Story-wise, I'll keep the story-wise brief because like I know roughly how the story works, and this is really just the justification for the gacha. Basically, you have... Let me zoom in, we don't need to see the full canvas. Have, like, two siblings. Have, they're twins, but they're, like, fraternal twins, whatever the term is for twins who aren't identical. He's got the book. She's got the fists. Make a copy of myself to work for me. Their names are Glade and Blair. So they're actually not originally from the Realm of Nexus. They're, well, I guess they technically are. But essentially, their mother... Oh, I should mention the way the Realm of Nexus works. While most of the characters are copies of characters from other worlds, if a world within the reach of the Realm of Nexus dies, then the Nexus, which the world is named after, can sort of save someone from that world, someone with a particularly strong heart. And Glade and Blair's mother was the person saved from their world. And so she was pregnant when she was saved, which is how we're able to have two original characters from the same world. Because they were born in the Realm of Nexus, but they're originally from another world. But like, their mother's an adventurer, she goes off all the time. And so they've sort of inherited her adventurous spirit, and at some point, they find this this magical book or whatever, this book of prophecy or whatever. And so they're like, yeah, you know what, let's go on an adventure ourselves. My mic is crunchy, god damn it, hold on. Let me fiddle with the ports. I have fiddled with the ports. I don't know if that helps. God damn it. Yeah, this happened last time as well, I think. But it cleared up. Okay. Cool beans. Note to self, fiddle with the ports before stream. So yeah, they go off and the book leads them to some this group of islands or whatever. This is a shitty representation of it, but called I think I called it the Crystal Archipelago or whatever. And supposedly, like, something good would happen if they were able to, like, bring the heroes of the other worlds within the reach of the Nexus together into one place. So they set up a little, like, village or whatever, and they start recruiting all the characters from other worlds. And then, after they've done that, like, yeah, we made this little village and we've got all the heroes together. And then all that really happens is they end up attracting a bunch of villains from other worlds, and they have to fight them off. And then, like, eventually it's explained why the hell this shit's happening and where the prophecy book actually came from. But that's, like, further down the line. That's like at least 5 or 6 years of gacha. But yeah, stuff like that would happen. And, like, the justification for how the gacha's happening is they would, like, recruit characters from around the Crystal Archipelago to come stay with them at their village. And that's how you collect your units. There's the basic setup. Now, the basic gameplay idea. I only really know, like, aside from shit like Mario Kart Tour or whatever, I only really know 2 major types of gacha games, and that's RPGs and rhythm games. And to be perfectly honest, I still don't really understand how a gacha rhythm game works, so we're just going RPGs. So you'd have a team of 5, your units that you put together in your team. The opponents can have 5 on most floors of each quote-unquote dungeon, except for the final floor where there's a 6th who's like the boss of the dungeon. And the idea is that, like, each turn you'd select, like, each of your units would either attack an opponent or they'd use their, like, assist skill to help one of your other units. That could be like healing or buffing or what have you. And then, like, they have like a special charge gauge or whatever that I think I decided it was like it fills up by attacking and being attacked, but it doesn't fill up by using assists. I don't know. I'm figuring this out as I go. I may end up making this eventually. I've been thinking about trying to learn, like, actual game development instead of just using SRPG Studio. But who knows? This may exist eventually, but if it does, it won't be for quite some time. Because time is a big constraint. Yeah, and then, like, the special would count down, and then once the special gauge is full, let's just draw a star around that. If it's an assist special, then it would just immediately activate when you use an assist skill. If it's an attack special, it'd just immediately activate when you attack. Similar to how Fire Emblem Heroes does it. Fire Emblem Heroes, by the way, is the main gacha game I play, so that's my point of reference for gacha most of the time. I have recently started playing Pokemon Masters again, and I used to play Dragalia Lost before it was killed off. So that's my main experience with gacha. So there's the basic gameplay loop, I guess. And the way you would recruit characters, I'm imagining something similar. Like, if this was just gacha game, it'd just be, yeah, summon from, and then voila, you get a character. But because I want to drift away from doing it as a gacha, I'm imagining something closer to, like, Smash Bros.'s Spirit Board, where you're presented with, like, a list of, like, characters that are currently available. Like, maybe that's a 3-star, maybe that's a 4-star, etc. And, like, the higher rarity they are, the more difficult the fight would be. So you'd enter one of these and it'd take you to, like, a little dungeon or whatever. And if you can beat the dungeon that's been specifically themed around that character, then voila, you get the character. Easy. And that's specifically for the, like, non-generic characters. So, like, characters who are actually, like, named, have a personality, a singular role in their story. but I also wanted players to be able to recruit like generic like enemies and stuff, because I thought that'd be fun, because like I have an entire heckin' world which is based on Pokemon, and like Pokemon have like specific designs and names, but they're also a generic species and not a singular character. And you can't really do a storyline with them when, you know, Pokemon don't exactly speak. So I figured maybe there's like some sort of currency that you can earn from clearing dungeons, and then you can use that to recruit generics or whatever. And then generics would come in like 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star, depending on how strong they are. And then you'd probably be able to upgrade their star ranking. Don't exactly know how yet, but you could. But now I need to get onto the thing that like I've been struggling with on my own, and I actually need to workshop. And that's like, what exactly does a character have? What stats do they have? So like, obviously they have their rarity, which is like, you know, from 1 to 5 stars. They would have an element, which is sort of like Fire Emblem's weapon triangle, I guess. Like if you have an elemental advantage over the enemy, then you know, you deal more damage. So it's like fire beats nature, beats water, beats fire, and then there's also light. Did I call it dark? I think I called it shadow, actually. Hello, Magnolia! Welcome, welcome. Happy streamiversary, thank you. I am workshopping a hypothetical video game that I may make eventually if I find time to learn how. I'm celebrating my anniversary in a way that is very me, but also very unmarketable. These are the elements. I want to say there's also probably a normal element that like doesn't interact with the types at all, simply because there are some characters that I feel just I wouldn't be able to assign an element to. Yeah. And obviously I mentioned before there's assist skills and like special skills, whatever it's called. I don't know if I want to have like regular like passive skills like Fire Emblem does. It would help to make units more unique, but I guess I can figure that out after. The part I've really struggled with is like, what stats would a character have? Because like obviously there's like HP, there's attack, there's defense. I never know whether I'm supposed to spell defense with an S or a C, so let's just spell it with an S for now. And then there's also speed, which I would use to like determine the turn order, I guess. Then it's like that's 4 stats. That does not seem like enough stats for a character to have. How am I going to differentiate like 1,000 different units with only 4 stats to assign? That's a problem, right? I think, because like what a lot of games do, they have physical attack and defense, and then they also have like magical attack and defense, which is like usually just like magic and resistance. Or if you're Pokemon, then like special attack and special defense. Problem, I have a lot of characters that don't really fit into these 2 categories. I feel like if I try to make a split between physical and magic, or even just like energy, I guess, this is still probably going to result in somewhat of an imbalance, and there's going to be a lot of characters where I just don't know where to place them. Because, like, a good chunk of the characters don't come from worlds where they would normally partake in combat. For example, let me just quickly open one that I drew recently. Where is he? This dude. This dude's not a combatant. He's a fucking Let's Player. Do I just make him physical because he punches? There'd be way too many characters that end up in physical because of that. So I don't know if I really want to split them off. What I did think is potentially adding a luck stat. The greatest warrior, the gamer. Thought like luck as in like maybe that could be used to trigger like critical hits and potentially dodging. Then that's like 5 stats, and that still feels like just a little too low to me, but I can't think of any other stats that would work in this context. Like, this is sort of a question mark at the moment. Ignore how terrible that question mark looks. So this is what a unit is looking like at the moment, and I'm not fully confident in that. Obviously, if I was modeling this in a video game, they'd also need like to track their EXP and their level. But like that's like a specific like player controlled whatever. That's not something I would assign on the back end. Do I Here's the thing, I feel like I do play a lot of RPGs, but I can't think of anything past this. There's like skill, I guess, but that sort of plays into luck. What other stats are there that I can mess around with? I'll put passive skills here as well, but also as a question mark. Because that would give me like more to play around with to make units unique. But also it would make things more complicated. And I mean, like that, gacha games are no stranger to making shit complicated as hell. I mean, recent units in Fire Emblem Heroes, their weapon alone is enough to fill a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card with how long their description is. Well, I don't know. You gotta remember that I would have to program all of these. And all the interactions and whatnot. So, who knows? I'm realizing that this potential... I was actually thinking of doing this not for my anniversary, but for a random stream 2 days ago, and then I backed out, partially because I was tired and had burnt my finger the night before, and also because I was like... I wasn't sure it would have enough content for an entire stream. And now I'm looking at this and thinking, like, what else can I actually workshop? Because I can't think of anything else to do with the individual unit. Oh, something I didn't mention. 4 characters that I can... Yeah, for the actual named characters and not the generics. They'd have, like, character stories, similar to Dragalia Lost, that you unlock at, like, certain levels to, like... to like see the lives of the characters in this little village and what have you. Oh, almost forgot. Size. Because, you notice I said there's 5 here. I kind of wanted there to be like, oh, what about characters that are way too big to like just draw them the same size as everything else? What about like the giant fucking snake from my Monster Catcher universe? That can't be the same size as a human. Well, I wanted to say that like some units would just be big, and they could only go in your back slot, and they would be like, they'd take up both of the two back slots. That might be a bit too complicated to figure out, but oh well, we'll see. That's the idea behind it, at least, and they'd also be recruited in like a special way, but I don't fully know how. Because it was originally like, oh yeah, this is like the grand hero battles from Fire Emblem Heroes, where instead of being in the main gacha pool, you actually need to fight them. But if I'm doing it like this, then you need to fight everyone, so that doesn't make them special. So I don't know. That's a thing to consider. I think there was something else I was going to mention. Oh yeah. The stat caps are probably related to rarity, so like maybe you can only go up to a certain level, and then if you increase the rarity, you can go further than that. Because that's sort of, I think that's how Dragalia Lost did it. What else can I do? Oh, so like I think sort of like a gacha game. I want to say that would be like the main story, and they'll be like separated into different books, like book 1, book 2, etc. But then you'd also have like random side events, similar to the seasonal stuff that Fire Emblem Heroes does. Because back in the day, back when I didn't have like 17 different worlds that my characters were splitting around, I did sort of start drawing seasonal alts for some of my characters, because I'm like, yeah, why not? This sounds fun. And I could reuse those here. But I also kind of would want to be like, oh yeah, here's a group of new characters. Let's give them a little side story thing that's not related to the main story. I don't know when these would be unlocked, though. Because I feel like seasonal ones would be like, oh, they would only be available around certain dates, but they'd be available that date every year, rather than like a gacha game where it's like, oh yeah, this... That was a thing. I just remembered a thing that I wanted to try and figure out. So, I just mentioned there'd be like seasonal variants of characters, right? So here's Smiley Face. Here's Christmas Smiley Face. The question, because like in a lot of gacha games, these two would be completely separate units. Not the same. Even though they're the same character, they just look different. They'd have like different stats, they'd be different units, you couldn't merge them together or anything like that. I was sort of thinking like, do I want to do that? Like in Digimon? Sort of thing, do I want to do that, or do I want this to just be a costume for the same unit, even though it looks different? And I'm honestly still not sure. Because like, in the book structure, I wanted it to be like, okay, book 1 you get like the main heroes of every world or whatever. But then in future books you'd get like 2 freebie characters. One at the start of the book, and then one at the midpoint. And I realized my original thought, my original plan for heckin' book 2 was that the midpoint character was going to be an alternate version of like one of the characters that you'd already have. But it's like, if I make these costumes instead of separate units, then it doesn't really make sense that you're getting a costume instead of a unit. So I was like, question mark? How do I handle this? But now that I'm actually thinking about like gameplay and stuff, it does sort of make sense to have them separated like this. Because, like, even if the stat distribution is the same, a character who's, like, in a different costume, potentially at a different point in their life, they're gonna have different abilities. So they could have different skills and whatnot, so maybe I will just have them separate. And then I can change these up to be back the same again. I don't know. Still, like, these stats are bothering me because I feel like there should be at least one other stat I can think of beyond. I guess I wouldn't really need both a magic and an attack stat. There goes to Christmas future. Wouldn't really need both an attack and a magic stat because, like, if I do separate these out, it'd be like Fire Emblem Heroes where a character is either one or the other. They don't need both. But they would still need both of these if I separate it out. I might need to go through my characters and just see if I can figure out, like, oh, this character's an attack, like a physical unit. This character's a energy unit. And if there's a decent split, I might just add resistance in as a start. And then that sorts it out. I'll have 6 stats. That seems like a good number. Then, if I'm doing passive skills, I feel like then there'd have to be some sort of progression system. Like, would they just learn skills as they level up? Or would you use some sort of in-game item to, or like a separate type of XP to help them learn skills? Because that's how, like, Fire Emblem Heroes does it as, like, separate, like, SP, I think it's called. It's like a separate EXP system. And then Dragalia Lost, I think, did it by in-game items that you use to, like, unlock their abilities or whatever. I think from the way I'm handling this... Oh, no. Well, thank you for the reminders anyway, Magnolia. Not sure why that isn't working. Maybe Twitch is just broken. Thank you, Sausage. I'll hydrate again, actually. I think with the way I'm doing it, I feel like it makes more sense to do it as, like, collectible items, because, like, you could get different items for different dungeons and different enemies and whatnot, and then you could use that to level these up. That makes sense to me, at least. If I'm gonna do, like, collectible items, let's list those. Okay, so there's probably basic EXP booster. Because, you know, shorten the grind. Skill unlock. Let me label this so I know what this is later on. Because I'm gonna save this canvas and be like, ah yes, this is what I figured out during the stream. So skill unlock, rarity increase, so some sort of item to, like, bump up their star ranking. Is that everything? See, here's the problem. I've played a few different gacha games, so I'm like, what does this one need? Because, like, Dragalia had, like, equipment. Fire Emblem Heroes doesn't have that. Fire Emblem just, like, oh yes, all of this equipment, they're just skills. And that you can't freely equip and unequip them. You'd need to, like, to different units. Also, I'm just now thinking, like, for, like, regular alternate versions, they can probably just be added to the pool. Because I didn't mention it before, but I kind of thought, like, oh, you're not going to get access to, like, every character right from the get-go. You'd unlock more of them getting added to the pool as you progress in the story. But, like, how do I handle seasonal variants? Like, would they be recruited through, like, special... Maybe. It's like, let me... This is Santa Hat. Then this could potentially have, like, special missions within it to recruit the seasonal variants, rather than having it be in the regular pool. Although I guess that if I make it only available during a certain part of the year, then maybe that sort of gives some Christmas or eggs on Easter. Maybe that sort of plays into the FOMO thing. I mean, you could always just change the date. Like, this isn't going to be like an actual gacha game that needs to be online all the time. You could probably just change the date on whatever device you're playing it on. To be like, oh, I missed the Christmas event. Quick, let me change the date back to December. I could always... No, that probably works. That probably works. Like... These can't be the only items, but then, like... Obviously, like... These, like... would be, like, divided by the elements. And then there'd probably be, like, a standard one that can be used for all of them. This one would just be either one standard one, or it'd be divided by the rarity. And then this one, I guess you could make a whole bunch if you really wanted. But it still feels like, oh, there's only, like, 3 types of items. Like, what the hell is this? But the problem is, I don't know what else you would use items on in this sort of game. Maybe I just don't play enough gacha games. I only have, like, 3 games as reference. And, like, one of them was an action RPG, one of them is, like, a weird real-time battle system, but it's an RPG, and the last one's a strategy RPG. They all function relatively differently. And none of them function the way that I'm looking at mine. Also, I'm only comparing to gacha games, even because, like... I guess we can look at, like, other sorts of maps, because, like, I've only gone, like, okay, here's the story and here's side events. There'd probably also be, like item grinding, dungeons. For, like, collecting these. What other sorts of dungeons could there be? Alright, I almost forgot the item for... recruiting generics. Then this one would probably also split off in a bunch of ways. Oh yeah, these big guys, maybe... Like, these can... Item grinding for these, and then, like, maybe, like... like, so, something to recruit the way you face off against the big guys to be able to recruit them. I don't exactly know how this would work. I'm still thinking. Maybe like you need to face off against the dungeon a certain amount of times to like fill up a bar or something, and then once it's full, you can recruit the boss. I don't know. Because like I could make it like, oh yeah, you need to work with other players in order to take down the big guy, but like that would require me programming online shit. And like, I barely know how to program games in the first place. I knew a little back in the day. I tried, but then I ended up giving up because like I got distracted by other things. Like, I feel like I need to like go through my games and like see what other shit there is. Because like Fire Emblem Heroes, they have a shitload of side events. But, I mean, not all of it's good. They had a fucking rhythm game mode. I don't think I can do that in here, but... trying to think, like, what other side content could there potentially be? Legacy dungeons. I can't think of a good name off the top of my head. Naming is always my my weakest point. I'm thinking potentially, like, it could be like a special rotating dungeon. Probably just for rewards and whatnot, but it'd be like mimicking like actual, rather than being like, oh, it's just a bunch of enemies. It could be mimicking actual like events from the characters' original stories that these characters are copies of and whatnot. That could be a neat idea, question mark. I don't know how I'd make it like different from just regular old maps and what the rewards for these would be, but I'm just spitballing ideas here. Because I still have like heckin' this much canvas left to be able to fill. Man. Coming up with a basic concept, very easy. Actually fleshing out that concept, a bit more difficult. Temporary hidden dungeon only appears a few days out of the year. See, I guess that, to me, that's kind of sort of like the seasonal events. But it just sort of, without a seasonal flavor to it. It's like, I'm not really, especially because I'm not really confident in like what items I even would have. If I cut, like, the problem here is like, okay, this rewards you with these. This... question mark. This rewards you with like big boss enemies. If I add more stuff, I feel like it's gotta have some sort of reward beyond these, unless it has a special gimmick attached. So like, for example, Fire Emblem Heroes, their special events, they just give you the standard items that other events give you. But they change up the gameplay or the general structure of it in order to, you know, make it an actual event. So it becomes a question of how we do this. It's like, do I change up the rewards or do I change up the gameplay? I think this is good though. It might not be the most entertaining stream, but it is helping me sort of solidify some of my ideas. Like this like, I'll cross that one out. This I need to go back and check. And like check through my stupidly long list of characters. By the way, this guy, this is for a drawing project I've been doing, where I'm like trying to like go through my characters in like a random order to try and do more artwork for my characters, and I'll even show you. There's another one that I was working on yesterday. I didn't finish it, but I'll show it off anyway. This dude. You know, it's not all just generic normal guys. There's also people like this. But yeah, I listed out all of my characters so that I could randomly generate which characters I would draw next. My list is currently 1,274 quote-unquote characters, but like 300 plus of them are like my bootleg Pokemon. So, you know, not everything is an individual character. Some of them are species and whatnot. But it's still a fucking huge amount. So, you know, there'll be content here for days if I can actually make this a thing. That's the thing about me. My imagination doesn't stop. I'll just keep making more things. The thing is, when it's a video game and not just a story, I need to think about like actual... Would stop, can't stop. Need to think about like actual gameplay stuff and not just the story and characters. And that is where I am currently failing. Because I'm like, is this enough content? Is this... Actually, no. I was about to say like, oh, like most of these games have like a PvP element, right? Only one of the 3 gacha games that I've played... I think we're back. Hold on. Are we back? Man, what the hell? I was like, damn, it's not working. Let me just... Oh look, Stream Element Spot is finally here. It's just like, yeah, let me just I never bloody... Hold on. Need to restart the bloody app because it's being a butt. Let me refresh this as well. Yeah, we back. Cool beans. I was like, yeah, for some reason it's connected on my phone, but it's not reconnecting on my computer. Let me just close everything and restart. And then as soon as I like clicked stop stream and closed OBS, my computer decided, yep, we're gonna reconnect to the internet now. Fun times. So I'm like, okay, we're cool, I guess. So let's open up Canvas again. This is what we're currently looking at. So I don't know where it cut me off, because my internet decided to screw me for a sec. But I think the question right now is I'm looking at this, like we got the story content, we got side things, and we got these. Is this really enough is this really enough content for the entire game? I think I was discussing like, oh yeah, like games like this usually have some sort of PvP, but I don't want to like have to program online shit. But like only like one of the gacha games I've played actually has PvP. So I don't know. This shit's difficult, yo. Like we could do like. Oh, thanks, OBS. You finally realized that I do still have internet? Bruh. Fucking OBS, man. Doing all sorts of dumb shit. Open up my chat again. Bruh moment indeed. Is it still... Oh yeah. That says the bitrate's fine. It's not popping up on my mobile chat. Okay, there it is. On my laptop it's fine, nice. Bruh! My phone is still loading. Yeah, mobile Twitch is dumb. I had to like close the app and reopen it or whatever to actually get it to work. So as I was saying, the problem here is like I can come up with like ideas for stuff and whatnot, but then it becomes a question of like, well, what are the rewards for doing this? Like, is it just content for content's sake, or is there a reason why you would do these instead of just doing these? Because like, you'd get this shit from playing this. And like for these, and potentially even this, it's fine, because like there's a story attached to it. But then for other types of content, where's the reward? Why would you do these and not just grind it out? That's I guess what I'm struggling with at the moment. There's also like a significant portion of the canvas that is not yet filled, and I don't know what to fill it with. What else do gacha games have beyond in-game purchases? Regional types and monsters or mutations. I guess, maybe. I feel like I'd need to think about like how that would fit story-wise, because like while a lot of gacha games are just like haha silly, like gacha games for established franchises are just like haha silly gacha spin-off, don't worry about whether it's canon or not. All of my stories are meant to be canon. I ain't making that non-canon shit. The realm of Nexus solely exists so I can do these like sillier crossovers while still having them be canon. So I need to be careful that nothing breaks the canon. Like I'm just thinking about like, oh, like things like Fire Emblem Heroes has limited time events that like change up the gameplay style, Dragalia had limited time events that are like story related and, you know, related to whatever characters were being released at the time. And were sort of changing up the gameplay style, but not all that much. And then I just have neither. Because, like, my limited time story events aren't limited time. Oh, thank you, Stream Elements. Which... But I guess the main reason... for... limited time events is like the FOMO of missing out, right? Which, like, the fact that I'm not doing gacha kind of makes it feel to me like, aside from like the seasonal events that are maybe like stick around for a month and then you have to wait until next year or change the date on your system, like there's no real point in that, because like I'm allowing players to get the shit they want instead of spending money. Maybe I need to start looking at things like outside of gacha, because while I'm structuring this like a gacha, I'm also trying to do something that isn't gacha, which means I need to like think about like how a regular game would structure this, even if it's being structured like a gacha. Or maybe I just need more of these heckin' side events. Just slowly add more of those over time. I don't know. And I don't know what else I can really put on this canvas. I do feel like things I potentially need to think more about in the future is like what other kinds of content are coming, what would be in there as like potential things I can try to sort out. Maybe like an endless mode? Where it's like you just try to see how many floors of a dungeon you can get through with the same team before you're eventually defeated. That could be, you know, like maybe you'd still just get the same standard items, but you get bragging rights for how far down you get. That's something, right? And that sort of follows the format of like switching up the gameplay style a little. So that works. I also need to think about like what other items could I have in there. Maybe looking at like, I'll just have a look through the gacha games I currently play, see what sort of items they have and what might be worth bringing over. You know, I never actually mentioned. Cause like so some gacha games, they're like, oh yeah, you can just get rare rewards the longer you last. Yeah. Some gacha games, like Fire Emblem Heroes, you can get like here's smiley face and here's another smiley face. They're like functionally they're the same units. They like have the same like stat spread and everything, but they count as separate units. Whereas other gacha games is like, okay, here's smiley face. If you summon smiley face again, then they like either it'll just power him up or it'll like convert to rewards or whatever. And I think I want to go with the secondary model, so you only have like one of each unit, and if you do the dungeon to recruit them again, you just get like, I don't know whether it would be like specifically powering up the same unit or whether it would be for like rewards. Also, I'm not sure how often this would refresh. Because I want to say it'd be like based on how many maps you're doing or how many dungeons you're doing, and not based on like an actual like real-time timer like Fire Emblem Heroes does. Not Fire Emblem Heroes, Smash Bros. But like, I feel like the problem there is like if you do it based on how many dungeons, then like you might see like, I don't know, 4 characters that you want here, but then you do 3 of them and then it refreshes. It's like, well, I can't get him anymore until he shows up again. So it's like, how many maps would you have to do to get it to refresh? That's another question. And also, how many characters should show up on the board at the same time? Like, I did it with 8 here, but it could be variable. I'll write these down as like things to figure it out. To refresh. And right, is there anything else to think about with this? I need to look into this. I need to think about items and potential other types of content. There's a big space at the bottom of the canvas, and I don't like that. But I also don't know what else I can really... what else there is to workshop. Like, I could go more into the story, but like that... Ayo! I just got a message. One of my parcels has arrived in Australia. So I'm probably... My plushie shelf will get even more plushies very soon. Hell yeah. Maybe that could be something. These silly weapons you'd include for the holidays? Yeah, so, hold on. Do I actually... I don't have it saved to my computer, but I can quickly download it. I can show, like, some artwork I did of one of my characters as, like, a holiday variant. Where did I save it? Is it in here? Does she have it in here? Oh, she doesn't actually have the egg here. Hold on. I do have an alternate drawing that hopefully... She doesn't have... She's supposed to be holding an egg, but... Now I can just show the alt, I guess. Oh, I can open it here, can't I? I was gonna put it in OBS, but I can just open it up on here. So she's supposed to have an egg. Like, here's an Easter variant. Here, she gets like an egg. No egg, Danny DeVito in here. Yeah, I don't remember all the ones I did. I think I did, like, Easter, Halloween, Christmas. Did I do New Year's? I think I did New Year's. But I did it like Fire Emblem Heroes New Year's, where it's specifically more of a Japanese theme. I could do something else for New Year's. You know what? Let's quickly figure out. Like, when would these seasonal ones happen? Like Jan. Because if I'm gonna have like rotating seasonal events, well, I need to figure out what events are going to be rotating, don't I? April. Much. May. I definitely know the months of the year. Don't worry about it. July, August, September, October. Just maybe like they're each available for a month. Hamburger Day. So like obviously December would be Christmas. Or some generic winter holiday. For the worlds that don't have a Christ figure. Generic winter holiday that seems very similar to Christmas for some reason. In January you could have New Year's event. Then like Easter's a bit weird because it jumps around between these months. I normally associate it with April, but it has been March a few times. End of year's really holiday heavy, yeah. That's why I always find it funny with like Fire Emblem Heroes. Normally like start of December, end of November, they like launch the start of their new story. There's like, oh, new book, all this drama is happening. And then it immediately goes into Christmas, and then into New Year's, and then end of January we finally get back to the story. I find that kind of funny. Then October we can have Halloween. Then normally... Here's the thing, normally seasonal... normally gacha games, they do like a summer seasonal event around like June, July. Problem, I live in Australia. Our seasons are flipped from the Northern Hemisphere. So for me, this is winter. But like, I feel like if I'm really going to be aping gacha games, there needs to be a summer seasonal event at some point. Maybe we'll put it in June. And the reason I'm doing that is because July is like when my birthday is, so maybe I can do something special. It's like, oh, this is a Nexus Day or something, I don't know. This is the birth of the Nexus. This is when we celebrate the birth of this world. Then like... Oh wait, no, June's heckin' the start of like bridal season in Japan, isn't it? So gacha games usually do like a June bride thing. Maybe we don't celebrate my birthday. I'll move summer to July, and then... Because I have drawn a bridal alt of one of my characters before. And I do have a bunch of characters who are canonically in relationships, so I could work with this. Then February is like Valentine's. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months that don't have a special event yet. Bridal alts are my weakness? Same. Heckin' girls in pretty dresses? That's my weakness. Shit. I'm just thinking about like, oh, what other seasonal banners does Fire Emblem Heroes do? Because that kind of overloaded on them, right? But then they just have shit like, oh yeah, this is the ninja banner. This is the pirate banner. This is the banner where we celebrate the anniversary of Fire Emblem. We are people of culture, hell yeah. Then Dragalia doesn't help, because Dragalia just celebrated these. They don't have anything particular. I'm gonna save real quick. just in case anything else breaks. Because I notice I have had a few frame drops here and there. I'm like, Fire Emblem is still a thing in your world. I mean, I have a world that is based on Fire Emblem. It's the heckin' strategy RPG I was making on stream last year for one stream, and then I got distracted by other things. And they also have like a sort of spring banner where instead of... They did like a picnic banner once. Just as a single seasonal, and then they're like, nope, we're not doing that one again. Same with Hot Springs, they're like, yeah, it's a heckin' Hot Spring banner, and then nope. And then for some reason they've gone like, ah yes, Desert Tribes, that is going to be our next recurring seasonal event. And they've just kept that around. Well, let me actually... I'm just gonna pull up the heckin' Fire Emblem wiki. What seasonal events do they have? Fire Emblem Heroes characters. And then if that doesn't work, I'll just look up, hey, like, what events happen in March? Special Heroes. I'll just scroll down, that's quicker. They have the Winter Festival, that's Christmas, I've already got that. They have the Ninja Festival, I am not doing that. Harvest Festival, that's Halloween. Tribal Festival, Festival of the 12. Dance Festival. I remember when they used to do those. Hey, Theo, welcome, and thank you for the 20 months, holy shit. I need to make some new sub badges. I know you're like basically anyone that subscribes is just gonna have that first badge, but I do still need to make some better sub badges. Also, welcome. We're currently figuring out which seasonal events would happen in each month for this hypothetical not gacha game that I may make one day. If I have the time and energy. Alright, they had a fucking tea time thing. Man, Fire Emblem Heroes has all these random ass seasonal events that they use like once or twice and then like, yeah, never mind. That was dumb, let's not do that again. Summer Festival, Bridal Festival, Picnic. I think, yeah, we've covered all of the seasonal events that Fire Emblem has now. Aside from the weird ones that I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Let me look up what happens in... Oh, of course. Easter is in March this year, of course. But it's at the end of March, so I'm like, yeah, it's fine. it can be April. Also, I mean, I guess I could. March. What is March break? I may just end up doing like themes like that if I can't think of anything good. But you know. Oh, there's St. Patrick's Day apparently. But that's like... I feel like that's too real-world related compared to these things. Ah yes, National Peanut Butter Lovers Day. This shit is so stupid. But back in school we had an entire week in mid-March off. Spring break. Oh, dude. No, that's a whole thing. The hell are all these stupid ass holidays? National Dentist Day, let's go. Oh, there's International Women's Day. Special event where it's just female characters. See, Spring Break, I guess, could work, because I do have characters. Oh, because my birthday. I mean, I was going... Before I realized, like, oh, I need to make June bridal season, I was going to have July be like, ah, yes, celebrating my birthday. But then I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's not going to work. I need to move summer down a bit. First day of spring. I guess spring break could technically be a thing that I do, because I do have characters who are like, you know, they are in school, they are students. Then the question becomes like, how do I make an event out of that? How do I make like a little story thing with the characters doing shit? Because I know, like, Fire Emblem Heroes, their seasonal events, that it's like, there's barely any story there, but there is still a story there. So it begs the question of, how do I do that? School festival time. Oh! Now there's an idea. Right, hello! Happy New Year! Thank you for the 12 months, holy shit, I really need to make these new sub patches. What is that one? Oh, Twitch recap. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing good. Aside from some internet troubles earlier on in the stream. I am currently workshopping a non-gacha game. And we're currently trying to figure out what seasonal events would happen each month. What would... Hold on. Exam health season. I was like, when do school festivals occur? I was like, ah yes, you're clearly asking about Japan. I do have a decent number of characters who are supposed to be Japanese. Aha! So according to this website, virtually all middle and high schools in Japan hold festivals between late October and November. So that can be our November, I guess. I'll just call it festival. Because, like, there are some... How Japanese is your school setting going to be? I'm thinking about my stories. There are, like... 2? There might be more. I can only think of 2 off the top of my head. 2 stories that feature, like, Japanese high school students. So I could do something with this. Making a little bit, no worries, Magnolia. And Happy New Year to you as well. Okay, so we have a something. That's one of the remaining months filled. This is silly, but also I don't know what else to put on the canvas so that and what else to workshop so that this is what we're doing right now. Oh, actually, hold on. When is Mother's Day? Mother's Day is in May, according to Google. Always the second Sunday in May. Okay. I can do an event with like characters and their mothers. That'd be cute. Problem with fathers... Oh wait, Australia has a... Oh no. Father's Day is the better than Yuri Wales. Is Father's Day the one where Australia has a different one for some reason? Because I know one of these two, Australia has it different from like the US, and I always get tripped out when people start mentioning it on Twitter, and I'm like, wait, what? Huh? Yeah, that crept up on me so fast, and then I check, it's like, oh, it's different in Australia. In the United States says Father's Day is in June. In Australia, it's in September. Well, June is already filled, so I'm gonna go with the Australian one. There we go. Europe also has June. Oh well, I'm Australian. I'm gonna do that one. June's already taken. June has to be bridal season. So that's only 2 months that I don't have anything for at the moment, which is March and August. Oh, also for the people who just arrived, which is Theo and Rai, this is what our full canvas looks like at the moment. Which a lot of rambling went into this, but it is a thing. I White Day? Ooh. Because I've got Valentine's Day as well. Do I want to do both? Question mark. The things that I need to look into, probably off stream, is like I need to think about like what other items they could be to get, what other types of like dungeon content there could be. And then also I need to look through all my giant list of characters to figure out whether there's enough of a decent split to be able to like assign whether characters are physical or special. Physical or magic, physical or special, physical or energy, whatever we want to call it. And then I was like, what do I fill the bottom of this canvas with? I can't think of any other things we need to brainstorm. And then I hit upon this. It's like, seasonal banners. Quote unquote banners, more like events. Because it's not actually gacha. It's more like Smash Bros.'s spirit board. There will be no exploitative monetization practices in this. This is me trying to keep the games where you collect a shitload of dudes genre alive after gacha ultimately gets legislated into hell alongside loot boxes. So just March and August. Had a March thing open? What else was in March? Is there anything here that doesn't feel like a really stupid holiday? Hold on. How is Easter actually decided? Like, what day does Easter actually get to be on? Wikipedia is not telling me. Because I'm thinking, like, if I moved Easter to March, then I could do, like, an April Fool's Day event. That's a thing. Just do something silly. The first Sunday after the 14th day of the month of Nisan. Any Sunday between March 22nd and April 25th. Okay, so that's why I associate it more with April then, because it covers more of April. Makes sense. Alright, because I was looking through this list of holidays for March. It's like, oh yes, March 20th, first day of spring. I forget that, like, other countries actually start the seasons in, like, the middle of a month. Australia, for some reason... Oh, no. Internet, please. Okay, we're good. Australia, for some reason, we start seasons at, like... Oh, no. There it goes again. We're dropping frames. No, we good. Okay. Australia, for some reason, we start seasons at, like, the start of the month. So, like, start of December, that's the start of summer. Start of March, that's the start of autumn. We don't do it in the middle of the season for some reason. In the middle of the month, rather. What the hell are the Ides of March? I feel like I've heard that before. Yeah, nothing in March is appealing to me. Let me look at August holidays. Then if I can't find anything for either of them, I can just do some generic themed thing like Fire Emblem Heroes does. They just invented random shit to fill in the gaps. So that they can keep charging people with FOMO the entire year round. Hey yo, International Left-Handers Day. August does not have as many, but that might just be because I'm looking at a different website. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do for these two. I'll just put question marks there at the moment. That's not a question mark. I'm left-handed, let's go. Ayo, you're both left-handed? I didn't realize I had so many left-handed friends. Trying to think. I know I have characters who are left-handed, but I can't remember any of them off the top of my head. I know I had a couple. Why can't I remember them? I think there was one character that, like, I ended up just making him left-handed because I kept accidentally drawing things in his left hand. Bruh. Here's the thing, right? My phone keeps connection to the internet. My browser keeps connection to the internet. OBS can't fucking keep it. And like my heckin' chat... I'm dropping frames like hell, but... Oh no. My heckin' chat widget in OBS, that's fine. It just can't fucking connect to actually show the shit. Bruh. Bruh. OBS not ambidextrous confirmed. Not you. Oh, this is weak F minus. Oh, not that. OBS just hates creativity. Do I not have a folder for this? Well, let me open up this, see if... Let me look at the character. What hand did I draw the thing in? Oh no, this guy I did end up making right-handed. I don't remember what character it was. I did have a character that, like, accidentally became left-handed, but I don't remember who it was. It was just a thing that happened. Oh, come on. Stupid... Heckin' Twitch mobile app is garbage. Oh no! Internet, please. It's okay, we've almost been going for 2 hours, and I am running out of things to brainstorm. We still have a good chunk of the canvas that I haven't filled in yet. But also, I don't know what to fill it in with. What is there left for me to brainstorm beyond, like, story stuff, which I don't really want to brainstorm on stream. I don't want to spoil that. Internet, please. The fuck is OBS doing? So we have a few question marks around the place that I'm probably going to need to look into off stream because I can't think of how I'm going to fill them right now. Is there anything else that I would need to figure out? OBS heard us talking smack. It deserves it. It's being dumb. Wait, was there an... I think there might have been an update this morning actually, and I just didn't. Because I'm like, oh no, I've got to stream. I'm not going to update right away. What if it breaks something? And then OBS is breaking anyway. I guess I'll update after the stream. Shit. Is this really it? Is this the game as we're doing it? An update? Yes, for like 2 months now? Jesus. Sort of thinking now. Because like, I'm like, oh yeah, each character, they can either attack or they can use a heckin' assist skill. What sort of assist skills can there even be? Either you update it and it gets problems, or you don't update it and it gets problems. Like, I'm thinking at the moment, so obviously there's like healing and there's like buffing your stats. What else can there even be? Because like Fire Emblem Heroes gets around this by like heckin', oh yeah, you can use assist skills to like reposition your units and whatnot. But like, positioning isn't really a thing. I guess like, yeah, you can only attack the, I think I had it so like you need to defeat the front row before you can get to the back row or whatever. But like, I don't think I want to have characters swapping around the battlefield. I'm gonna make things confusing. It's like, besides these two, what other types of assist skills would there even be? Maybe like, this might make things complicated, but maybe like defending. Like, oh yeah, I will defend this character. I will take damage for them. Or something like that. I'm keeping an eye on that heckin' on OBS's little like connection signal strength, and it's just going all over the place. Sometimes it's full green, sometimes it goes down to red. Then for like specials, you could have like for attacking ones, you could have hit all. The OBS gotcha. You could have like big damage. Oh! Status effects. That's like something every RPG has, and I haven't put any consideration into it. And then I'll also just put like a couple down here. So like heal all, buff all, etc. We're gonna fill the canvas after all. Even if OBS is fighting against us. Like status, I reckon like something like maybe like poison or burn as like damage over time. I'm just thinking like Pokemon statuses because they just work. Like, I'm just using Pokemon names. They'd probably have a different name. Can't stop the grind. Confusion, like. Itself sometimes. Maybe something like paralysis. So like that's sometimes not attack. I'm gonna say act because it also worked for assist skills. And then one that's not in Pokemon, something like blind. So like miss more often. Just to be annoying. Then it begs the question, like, how are these going to be afflicted? Is it only through specials? Or not? Because I am considering, like, oh, do I give characters passive skills and whatnot to help, like, differentiate the characters from each other more? And I think maybe this is how we get around, like, oh, this is how we inflict status effects and whatnot. Potentially. Outside of specials, because like specials are like, oh yeah, super big attack, of course it's going to inflict the status. Passives is just like, oh, maybe it does a thing. Do I want any other statuses? What does Pokemon have? It has Frozen. That's just like paralysis but worse. And I don't think we need that. Oh, I do have a status from my own, like, bootleg Pokemon. Let me move the status bar up a bit so I can fit another one in there. Heckin' Berserk. Where it's like, you get buffed, but uncontrollable. So sometimes you won't do anything, sometimes you'll attack your teammates, sometimes you'll attack the opponent. So that's a thing we can do. Is there anything else I can do with like assists and what in like specials rather? Maybe like drain health? Drain or fatigue where it lessens the enemy's energy or mana. See, I feel like that's not really a stat that I'm using. Because I'm not giving the characters like individual spells and whatnot. I'm trying to keep the battle format simple-ish, just because I'm sort of aping these gacha games, and I don't want to make like a full-on, oh yeah, like Final Fantasy level of depth. Or whatever, you know? I want to keep the actual battle format fairly simple, just in case like all of these skills end up being super complicated. So at least part of it's simple enough to understand. Thank you for the reminder, Sphere. Oh, I almost. Like, we've got, like, hey, yeah, you can buff allies. You can debuff enemies. Basically what Sausage said, except rather than just, like, mana or whatever. It's just a straight up whatever stat. In one of the statuses can lower the defense or attack of a unit, yeah. That... We could turn it into a status. Buffs are kind of a status, if you think about it. Still feel weird, like, oh yeah, I'm putting assist skills in. I've only really got 3 categories of them. Maybe. So like a traditional like Fire Emblem dancer thing wouldn't really work, but let me name it differently. But maybe like you use it on an ally and they will just do their action again. That could work, right? Oh, heckin'... I guess it's sort of a subcategory of healing, but you can remove statuses. And debuffs. I think our canvas is looking mostly full. This might be where we end off. I have a jumping off point so that when I finally get around to learning shit, I can actually, you know, work on this. And until then, I can just draw my characters and be like, yeah, this is character, this is what their stats would be, etc. It's been almost 2 hours, so I think that works. This was never going to be a full 3-hour stream. I'm surprised I managed to stretch it this long, to be honest. But hey, we celebrated my anniversary in a way that only I could do. This dumbass shit that I'm surprised anyone was watching. Let's go back to the chat scene. That is not where it's supposed to go. So thank you all for watching. And thank you for putting up with fucking OBS being a piece of shit. And thank you for helping me brainstorm this idea that I hope to maybe one day make into an actual thing. What dumbass shit are you talking about? I'm glad you enjoyed it. for the stream, no worries. I will remind again, if anyone hasn't seen it yet, this isn't the only thing I've done for my anniversary. I also released a song cover over on YouTube. Break Free, Lead the Way from Super Mario Odyssey. So if you're interested in watching that, you can take a look at it. It's not that good, but it is a thing that I put time and effort into, so yes. So moving forward, I haven't updated my Twitter yet, but I'm going to remove that / from my display name. I will no longer be an author / VTuber. I will just be an author VTuber. It's a new year, new me, new identity for the channel. So I don't know how much this sort of authorish content is going to slip into my streams, but I do want to try and incorporate it more often. To try and give myself a bit of an identity. Yes. But with that said, let's have a look who's online at the moment. Also new BGM. So, you know, as part of the new identity, right? There is like no one online. Man, people... Oh wait, of course. I was like, man, people just don't stream during the week, do they? Like, no, it's fucking New Year's Day for most of the world. Of course no one's streaming. They're doing other shit. Let me have a look. Everyone's hungover, yeah. Like, why did I think it was a good idea to debut on, like... I was like, oh yeah, I'll debut on the 2nd day of the month instead of the 1st, so that, you know, people have time to do whatever they need to do for their New Year's celebration, and then they can come back and see. But, like, no, time zones are a thing. Most of the world, it's still New Year's Day. I'm dumb. But oh well. That's part of why I didn't, like... I was like, could I do like a community game thing? No, no one's going to be. Someone just went live. Who is that? No one. I'm technically not saying. Ryan, get some rest. I know you were up late yesterday. I was going to raid into this, but like, they're playing a first-person game, and I can't watch first-person stuff. It gives me. Oh, I was about to like, oh yeah, we could raid this person. No, they're about to end. 1 AM, it's still early, man. What are they doing? Everyone's... Fucking Lethal Company is apparently very popular at the moment. I think... It feels weird to end without raiding, but also, like... No one's online. Try to go to bed before 3. We could always just raid Nico. Yeah, because like, I've only got like 5 people online on my side. None of them I'm particularly close with. One of them's about to end by the looks of it. I think we're just gonna end. Because I have no one online that I particularly feel like raiding. No, we're not gonna do that to Miko. It would be funny, but also no. So let me remove this so I don't forget to remove it before the next stream. Speaking of my next stream, I'm currently off work for 2 weeks, including this week. So I don't know when my next stream's going to be. Like, am I going to stream every single day, or am I going to leave it a break or whatnot? Who knows? It's either going to be like tomorrow or Thursday, I reckon. And as for what we'll do, who knows? I've got a bunch of games that are currently in progress. I've got a bunch of games I haven't started. I just recently bought the heckin' Mega Man Battle Network collection. That seems like fun, but I've also got other games I need to finish. And I've got other things I want to do. Maybe we'll do some game development in SRBG Studio. Maybe I'll do some more rambling. Who knows? We'll figure it out when we get there. But for now, thanks for watching. Otsukama. Bye bye and scene.